If your image of Japanese body hair comes from anime characters, glossy J-pop idols, or certain websites, you probably shouldn't be watching at work. I've got news for you. You've been misled. A lot. Today we're going to break down 5 big myths foreigners believe about body hair in Japan, and what's actually true in real life. Not in fantasy, not in marketing, but in everyday homes, offices, schools, and hot springs. By the end of this video, you'll see that Japan isn't a single rule book about hair removal, but a mix of modesty, modern trends, and very personal choices. Before we dive in, it's important to understand why this topic gets so twisted online. Most foreigners don't actually live in Japan. They visit for a week, binge some anime, scroll social media, or hear a few spicy stories on Reddit, and then assume that's how an entire country thinks about body hair. On top of that, Japan has a reputation for being extremely clean and well organized. So people jump to a simple conclusion. If Japan is super clean, then everyone must be almost hairless, right? Real life is way more nuanced than that. So let's unpack what's myth and what's reality. Let's start with myth number 1. Japanese people don't really have body hair. This one comes up all the time. Some foreigners genuinely believe that people in Japan are naturally almost hairless. They'll say things like, "Oh, Japanese people just don't grow much body hair, so they don't have to think about it like Westerners do." Where does that idea come from? A big part of it is the images people see. In anime and manga, characters often have smooth, simplified bodies. You're not exactly seeing detailed leg hair on your favorite protagonist. In pop culture, idols and actors are groomed, lit, edited, and sometimes airbrushed to look perfect on camera. Add in magazines, advertisements, and filters, and you get a very polished, hairless-looking version of reality. From the outside, it's easy to confuse carefully presented image with genetics or reality. But Japanese people are human like everyone else. They grow arm hair, leg hair, facial hair, and yes, hair in other places too. There is variation from person to person. Some have lighter or finer hair, some have darker or thicker hair, just like anywhere else in the world. What is different is how it's shown in public. In many parts of Japan, especially in cities, people don't typically walk around in tank tops and shorts most of the year. Workplaces often require more formal clothing. School uniforms cover a lot of skin. Even casual fashion can lean toward long sleeves, layers, and modest cuts. If you're used to more exposed arms, shoulders, or midriffs in Western countries, Japan can feel visually covered up. From a distance, that can create the illusion that there simply isn't much body hair. But often, it's just not on display. So no, Japanese people are not secretly a hairless species. The real story is that grooming habits and clothing choices create a cleaner, more polished public image. That's very different from no body hair exists. Now let's flip to myth number 2, which is basically the extreme opposite. Japanese women shave everything, all the time, to be considered attractive. This myth usually comes from people who only see the most polished parts of Japanese media. Pop idols, actresses, models, influencers. When every photo looks perfectly smooth and every leg in an advertisement has zero visible hair, it's easy to think women are under constant pressure to remove every possible hair, every single day, from head to toe. Here's the reality. Many Japanese women do pay attention to body hair. Underarms, legs, sometimes facial hair like tiny peach fuzz can be areas they manage regularly. For some, it's part of their routine like makeup or skincare. But the reasons are not always what foreigners assume. Often it's more about looking neat, clean, and appropriate in certain settings, like the office, school, or a formal event, not about sexualizing every part of the body. And there is no single rule that says, if you don't shave absolutely everything, you're unattractive. Personal preference plays a big role. Some women are very strict about grooming. Others are more relaxed. Some might remove hair for special occasions only, like summer events, pool days, or dates. Others may be experimenting with laser hair removal or salon treatments because it feels convenient, not because they feel forced. There's also a generational and regional difference. Younger women in big cities, who are more influenced by global fashion and social media, may follow trends more closely. They might care about getting smooth legs for Instagram photos, or follow K-beauty and Western beauty influencers. In smaller towns or among older generations, attitudes can be more traditional or simply more relaxed. So when you hear all Japanese women shave everything, remember, that's a stereotype. It erases the diversity of individual choices. Many women care about looking polished, but how they do that is not one size fits all. Now we come to myth number 3, which is often talked about in hushed tones. Japanese people never shave or groom intimate areas. This myth is like a mirror image of the last one. Some foreigners insist that Japanese people always leave those areas completely natural, that grooming there is seen as strange or even taboo. They might share a story from an onsen or repeat something they read on a forum and turn it into a sweeping rule. The truth is more complex. Traditionally, Japanese culture has been quite private about intimate topics. People don't usually talk openly about what they do in those areas with friends, coworkers, or strangers. So from the outside, silence can look like a rule. But silence is not the same as prohibition. In reality, grooming habits for intimate areas vary a lot. Some people prefer to leave things mostly natural. Some trim or shape for comfort, hygiene, or aesthetics. Some opt for full removal, especially younger adults influenced by global trends, online media, and easier access to salon services or laser treatments. The key point is that there's no universal law. No invisible cultural police are tracking what someone does in the bathroom. Choices are guided by personal comfort, partner preferences, fashion choices like swimwear, and sometimes medical or hygiene considerations. Onsen culture adds another layer of confusion here. Foreigners sometimes imagine that everyone in a hot spring is secretly inspecting everyone else's body. That's where this myth often gets stronger. If no one talks about it, and I don't see obvious grooming, then clearly no one ever does it. But again, that's more about social modesty than a clear rule. Grooming can be subtle, private, and simply not discussed. So if you've heard that Japanese people never ever groom intimate areas, understand that you're hearing a myth that oversimplifies a very personal topic. As in many other countries, people's habits range from natural to heavily groomed, and most of it happens quietly, without public discussion. This brings us to myth number 4. People in Japanese onsens will secretly judge your body hair. If you're a foreigner thinking about visiting a hot spring, this fear is incredibly common. You imagine walking into the bath area, everyone turning their heads, scanning your body from head to toe, and silently judging every hair they see. That anxiety can feel so strong that some people never experience an onsen at all. But what are people really paying attention to in a hot spring? Onsen etiquette isn't focused on how much hair you have. It's focused on how you behave. Are you washing your body thoroughly before entering the shared water? Are you being quiet and respectful? Are you keeping your small towel out of the bath? Are you refraining from taking photos or recording videos? These are the things that matter. Most people are there to relax, soak, and enjoy the warmth, not to evaluate every stranger's grooming choices. If you look around a typical onsen, you'll see bodies of different ages, shapes, and hair patterns. Some people may be more groomed, some less. After about 2 minutes, your brain usually stops obsessing over differences and just accepts these are human bodies, and that's it. Does that mean no one will ever notice anything? Not necessarily. If someone has a very unusual style or behaves in a loud or inconsiderate way, they might catch attention. But Japanese social norms strongly discourage staring, pointing, or commenting on others. Even if someone does notice, you're extremely unlikely to hear anything about it. So if you're worried that you'll step into an onsen and be mocked or judged because your body hair looks different, remember this. People are far more focused on themselves, on the hot water, and on minding their own business. As long as you follow the basic rules of cleanliness and respect, you're doing it right. Now let's talk about myth number 5, which is a deeper misunderstanding. In Japan, hairless equals clean, and hairy equals dirty. Because Japan is known worldwide for strict hygiene standards, clean streets, orderly trains, people wearing masks when sick, foreigners sometimes assume that any visible body hair is seen as unclean or unacceptable. Combine that with polished media images, and you get a simple but inaccurate idea. Hairless is good, hair is bad. In reality, cleanliness in Japan is about your habits, not the number of hairs on your body. It's about bathing regularly, washing before sharing water in an onsen or public bath, keeping your clothes and home clean, and not bringing outside dirt into indoor spaces. It's about wiping down surfaces, separating trash, and not spreading germs in public. Body hair itself is not automatically considered dirty. What matters more is how well you care for yourself overall. You can have body hair and be perfectly clean. You can remove a lot of hair and still have poor hygiene if you don't bathe or wash properly. Now, beauty standards are a bit different from hygiene standards. There are situations where removing or managing certain hair can be seen as more polished or presentable. For example, some workplaces may implicitly expect women to keep their underarms and legs smooth when wearing certain uniforms. In professional settings, both men and women may groom facial hair to look neat. That's similar to many other countries. But again, it's not an automatic moral judgment. It's not that having hair makes you dirty as a person. It's more about fitting into expectations of neatness in specific social contexts, and those expectations are changing over time. Younger generations, influenced by global trends and conversations around body positivity, may question older ideas and choose what feels right for them. So the real picture looks like this. Japan values cleanliness very highly, but that is expressed through habits, routines, and respect for shared spaces, not through a universal demand to remove every visible hair. When you put all of this together, a more realistic view emerges. Japan is not a nation of hairless anime characters, and it's not a place where grooming rules are identical for every person. It's a country with its own mix of modesty, fashion, tradition, and personal choice. Some people prefer a very smooth look. Some people trim here and there. Some don't worry much at all. Younger city dwellers might follow beauty trends more closely. Older people or those in rural areas might be more relaxed. And many never talk about it openly, which leaves a lot of room for foreigners to fill the silence with stereotypes. If you're planning to visit or move to Japan, the main thing you need is not a specific grooming checklist. What you really need is respect. Respect for the culture, for shared spaces like onsens, and for the fact that people here have their own ways of balancing comfort, appearance, and privacy. You don't have to transform yourself into a character you saw on a show. You just need to be clean, considerate, and willing to adapt to local etiquette. The rest is up to you. Now I'd love to hear from you. Before this video, which of these myths did you believe, even a little? Did you think Japanese people hardly had any body hair at all? Did you imagine that everyone was always perfectly shaved? Or were you more on the they never groom intimate areas side? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective, whether you've lived in Japan or just watched from afar, can help other viewers see how these myths spread and how they change over time. If this video helped you see Japan a little more clearly, beyond the filters and stereotypes, go ahead and tap like. It tells the algorithm this topic is worth showing to more people, and it really supports the channel. If you enjoy deep dives into how Japan actually works behind the clichés, whether it's beauty standards, dating, school life, or etiquette, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos. And if you want to keep going right now, watch the next video where we talk about things Japanese people secretly judge foreigners for, but almost never say out loud. It's not about shaming anyone. It's about giving you the social X-ray glasses you wish you had before stepping off the plane. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourself. Stay respectful wherever you travel, and I'll see you in the next one.